Shalom, shalom,
Shalom.
shalom. Hey, the GMS Louisiana Saints. I am Lafayette camp. All right, coming back at you with a live lesson. But before we get started, we're facing the east, and we're going to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Arakakadash.
All right, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to you out there that's pushing this truth and sincerity to the four corners of the world. All right, peace and safety as well to the men, women, and children of the hopeful elected 1/3. All right, that's watching. Okay,
Shalom.
Shalom. All right, and today's lesson we're gonna pretty much go over, having to run this, this continuous rat race. All right, being subject to payments. All right, living paycheck to paycheck, man. All right, we're gonna go through the scriptures and pretty much show how this is not our rest. All right, this place. All right, when you work these jobs, it's pretty much you're barely making it, man. You're barely making ends meet. All right. So Lord willing, this video will be edifying. All right, through the Spirit. All right.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
That's right. So,
and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
God, so this day, man, we are in our captivity underneath who? Esau Edom. All right, and what we have to work for him. All right, to make our daily bread, to pay for the bills that we need to pay for food, for clothes, and other things like that, because we have to go to him for the one of all things. All right, and work is one of them. Because what he owns the central banking system, man. All right, he owns the gold, all right, the silver, all right, and we have to deal with this paper dollar and have to break our backs for it, and it says that we read that one more time.
It says, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
Yeah, so we have to be subject to these payments because what? We went off against the Heavenly Father. So therefore the Lord has punished us, and one of those curses was that we won't have, we won't have our own resources anymore, man. Guess what? The Lord has taken us out of our own land and has put these curses on us, man, and they follow us. All right? And one of the curses are, financial, all right? We don't have any financial stability, other curses as well, the plagues and different things like that, the heart and the mind. All these curses have taken upon our people, all right, for disobedience.
That's right. And it says, hear Israel, the commandments of life. Give ear to understand wisdom. How happeneth it, Israel, that thou art in thine enemy's land, that thou art waxing old in a strange country, that thou art defiled with the dead, that thou art counted with them that go down into the grave.
That's right, man. So we have been brought over here, when you read in Deuteronomy, that what? Our enemies brought us over here, man. All right, that spoke a tongue that we didn't speak. All right.
I get it.
Up. So the enemy brought us over here, speaking a tongue that we didn't understand, which is, the English tongue, the Spanish tongue. All right. And, pretty much put our people in subjection and made us, work hard, hard slavery, man. All right.
That's why it says in Baruch, for the iniquities of our forefathers. It's Deuteronomy 28 and 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
That's right. And so pretty much we was brought over here on those slave ships with nothing, man. All right. And ever since that point, all right, up until now, we still going to him for those necessities, man. Which is clothes, all right, these different companies, his clothes, his food, the
Water,
GMO,
bread.
water, bread, all those things, man. Gas for our vehicles, all of this, man. All right.
That's why it said, if I can just back to Brother Amar's up, it said that we are yet this day in our captivity. Because right now, we have a phone bill, we have insurance to pay, we have gas to put in our cars, we have to pay light, electricity, water, the sewage, we have to pay rent, mortgage, things like that. Those are fines and payments. Those are um, unrighteous decrees, man. Because we know in the world, in the kingdom of heaven, where the law, statutes, and commandments are going to be in our inward parts, we're not going to be subject to all these miscellaneous and frivolous payments, man. They just come out of nowhere sometimes. Sometimes you scroll down on your news feed or your email feed and you'll see just alerts come out of nowhere, like the brother Mike was saying last night. Pay this. Your subscription is going to subscribe or pass off on this if you don't pay this amount of money, man. That's what we're dealing with. You got it, brother. It's like,
and if I could say too, real quick, that just goes to show you right here in Route 3 and 8 that being subject, to fines and payments and bills and things like that is all synonymous with, you being enslaved. Because look at, for example, the rich of the society, they don't pay taxes. They're not forced to pay taxes like the regular average, middle income American is. And why is that? Because the rich are, they're not living like slaves in this country. They're not living like slaves.
they're exempt.
Right? They're exempt. They're not forced to struggle for the things that they have access to in their day-to-day lives. Okay, that's for the average everyday American, but especially more specifically our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And that's all due to the disobedience of our forefathers, in which all of us are our forefathers in reincarnation. So we're paying for our past iniquities. But the Lord has raised up a remnant, okay, electing these other days that are going to be forgiven for their past iniquities, okay, through the blood of Yahushua. Joe Brothers got it.
Hey, you not going to bring up peace or faith? You got it. This is Psalm 73 and 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men.
Right, so the wicked are prospering all throughout the society. Okay, and as you just said, they're not troubled like other men. They're not subject to paying taxes and all these extreme fines and things like that, like the regular average everyday person. Okay, here's why. We read in Revelation 13 and 16 about the Barakah, right? It says he calls all both rich and poor, free and bond. Which you notice in that verse it doesn't say a middle class or middle person. Because that's what Esau is ultimately trying to do with this whole grand scheme. Wipe out the middle class. Okay, force the middle class to basically burn themselves out in this rat race that we're running. Okay, to the point to where Esau wants to bring everybody that's not of the rich elite tier down to their knees. Okay, begging for him for resources. Okay, and things like that. And man, and that's why we see inflation skyrocketing so much. Okay, because those are the things going to lead to the whole the majority of society that's struggling right now in this rat race, being brought down to their knees in a state of perplexity.
Right, and the idea of running a rat race is you're a rat.
Yeah.
You're seeking the cheese. You're in a constant rotation 360 of life, going in that wheel. Work, come home, work again. Come home, work again. Come home, work again. Until you're stricken with old age. Now you look and you're 67 years old. You don't know your nationality. You don't know the prophecies. You don't know what's going around. You got several types of juices in you, and you're waiting to take this Quran. We don't want to be in that mindset. That's why the Lord said He deals with these new bottles, man. Because those old bottles, they burst, all right? And these Edomites, they're not in trouble as us because when you get in that certain top tier bracket, you don't have these problems like these middle class folks, these lower class folks have. Man. They become tax exempt. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, man.
Yeah.
I'm paying any taxes,
They
man.
know all the loopholes, man, because the system was designed for them. And if
That's what I was gonna say. You got it.
I could say, you can read that one more time.
All right. This Psalm 73 and 4. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men.
Now, if I can say, because if you watch that that TV series, it's called Them. All right, in that show, it shows you
What she gonna do?
yeah, it shows you the family, right? The family that was trying to go purchase another home, but before they purchase a home, they showed this scene where these Edomites that got around in the table and was speaking about how uh, the Israelites was moving into their communities. So they was like, okay, well, we're gonna raise up, we're gonna raise up the interest for any black people that want to come into our area, man. All right, they have to pay twice as much money to come live in these areas if they want to, And a rich, he had the money and he moved into those areas. But there's a lot of policies, even within a lot of policies, a lot of those policies still exist, and like they be in the news too. I mean, you can search them up. Going back to how they, pretty much what wasn't trouble as we are, man. All right, they had these certain laws and different things that benefited them, all right, but what suppressed us as a people, you know.
Yeah. Got two more verses. It says, therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment. And here's the point. It says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish.
Yeah, man, they prideful and everything that they have, pretty much. Read that one more time.
Psalm 73 and 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than their heart could wish.
Yeah, man, they have more than what their heart can wish, man. All right, they prideful in what they have, and that they have an overabundance of things, man. All right, they greedy pretty much, man. All right, they're not satisfied with what they have.
They keep it to themselves, man.
Yep.
They keep it within their community, within their realm.
Yep.
Whether it be positions, jobs, all right, roles, money, opportunities, they keep it within themselves, man. They don't let you jakes within their inner circle, man. And if a jake is even close to the inner circle, he's not going to be within their true circle of these Edomites. If he's even close or around their circle, he's cooling, man. He's a sodomite. He's willing to bend, break, and fold for whatever Esau is willing to give him, man. Whether it be his morals, his paycheck, whatever it is, man. Jake will take a paycheck, a pay cut just to be around Edomites, man. That he considers networking. Jake is all the Israelite man on the side is all about networking, man. Next, how can he get high in the society, whether it be through masonry, whether it be through a fraternity, all right, whether it be through social clubs, man. All right, they call it so-called black excellence. Yeah. But that black excellence comes with defiling yourself, degrading yourself, having no morals, having no integrity, man. You got it, brother.
Hey, and the scripture says in the book of Amos, the Lord abhors the excellency of Jacob. So
Yeah.
that, all these, so-called black fraternities and sororities and these black Freemasonic organizations, hey, the Lord, despises all those things.
But bring it up for you.
Huh?
I can bring it up for you.
Yeah,
It's Amos 6 and 8. The Lord Yahweh has sworn by himself, said the Lord, the power of hosts, I abhor the excellency of Jacob and hate his palaces. Your fraternity houses, your Masonic lodges, that's Jake palaces, right? Your social clubs. The Lord hates that multi-million-dollar BLM house you got over there in where is it at? California,
yeah, like one in California, one in, I think, Atlanta, somewhere, Georgia, whatever.
Lord ain't dealing with that,
man. Yeah, man. Wickedness.
Yep. It says, so like you got to go.
No, you can finish.
It says, therefore will I deliver up the city with all that is therein.
The Lord says, will deliver up the city. Okay, you Israelites, because you Israelites represent our Jerusalem. It was a name of a people before it eventually became the name name of a place. So hey, so the Lord, because you Israelites, especially you're rich, so-called upper elite, Israelites, so-called Negroes, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the rich among all of you, hey, because you refuse to fear the Lord and repent and bring yourself back to the Lord, hey, the Lord said he's going to deliver you up. He's going to deliver you up to our enemies, to Esau, Edom, and these heathen nations. Okay, and they're going to make a great slaughter out of you. But I really want to make a point on this, going back to some points I made earlier. These elites, they hoard everything all to themselves. They have all the gold, they have all the silver, all of the the best that the earth can offer. Okay, and they hide all these things in their underground bunkers and stuff like that. Because really and truly, like if these elites, at least Edom, really and truly wanted to like get the whole world out of financial struggles and poverty and things like that, like they can do it. Because they're all together, they're all worth trillions and quadrillions of dollars, right? So they can easily get rid of the whole poverty situation throughout the whole entire planet Earth. But of course, being the devil that they are, they're not going to do that. And that's why the Lord says it in the book of Job. I can't remember what scripture it is, but he basically said they shall eat up riches, but they shall vomit them up. Roughly paraphrasing it. So hey, so all these riches that your Lisa we saw Edom, okay, your Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, your DuPonts, and so on and so forth. All the wickedness that you've been doing with your riches throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, going back to the time of the Renaissance period up to now, hey, the Lord is going to cause you to vomit up all your riches. All right, and you're going to lose it. And you're going to be brought down to poverty. Okay. Yeah, brother Scott.
Yep, it's the one you just asked for. It's Job 20 and 15. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again.
Yep.
The Most High shall cast them out of his belly.
Hey, and that's plain and simple. Hey, the Lord's going to cast all of your riches, all of your gold, your silver, okay, all of your wealth, all of your power, your influence, okay, all of your secret societies that you've been using to forward your power. Okay, the Lord says He's going to cast all of those things out of your belly. Okay, you're going to vomit them up, and you're never going to have it ever again. Okay, especially once we get into our kingdom, starting with Yahushua. That's pretty much it.
Right. And what happens when you vomit something? It means you're upset. Your stomach is upset, and that's what's going to happen to Esau. You're having those faulty bowel movements. All right, you having those immune deficiency disorders. We're seeing them right here in America, man. Inflation, pestilence, famine, plagues, the usher into the CBDC, man. You get ready to vomit and throw your whole kingdom, Esau. The Most High is going to split you open, man. But it says, matter of fact, that was it. You got it on
Fine. This is Jeremiah 49 and 7. It says, concerning Edom, thus said the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? The counsel perished from the prudent. Is their wisdom vanished? Flee, turn back. Well, weep, oh, inhabitants of Eden. Done. Yeah. For I will bring the captivity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. It says, of grape gatherers come to be, would they have not leave some gleaming grapes? So basically, Esau, man, when he comes to take something, man, he's coming to take everything. All right, he's pretty much a leech, man. All right, he's been leeching off, pretty much of all all the nations in the world, man. All right, going into their their lands and taking their resources and their alls. All right, their medicines. All right, opioids is a big, huge deal. Here in America, lithium, all that. Yeah. So all of these resources, man, they're going over there and gathering everything up for himself. All right. It says, come to thee, would I not leave? all right, some grapes and thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. So Esau is basically going to keep on taking and taking and taking, all right, until there's nothing left, man. That's the reason why the scriptures say, um, there will be no flesh left to save, you know, and Esau continue his rampage, man. You know, that's pretty much it on that part.
I'm gonna get that Haggai 1:6.
Yeah, I got one too before you get that one. Let's just back I'm wise up. It's Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, slavery, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heap it unto him all people, man. So the Lord said he can't be satisfied, man. So even when he knows he has the most highest riches, the most highest gold and silver in his possessions, it's not enough. Even though he has the earth's resources, all right, the natural resources, whatever it may be, he has those things in his possession. He has the dew of heaven, all right, the mist of the stars, all right, the ozone layer in his possession. It's still not enough for him, man. He's still not content. He still wants more. That's why you see his pride growing more and more and more, man. All right, because the Lord said the earth was given unto you, Esau. But although it's been given unto you, look how you dealt treacherously with the children of Israel, man. Look how you dealt treacherously with the inhabitants of the earth, of the sea, man. You got whales beaching themselves like the brother always go into. All right, you got male lions, all right, becoming lovers. Come on, man. The society is all out of whack, man. It's nothing but confusion going on, and it has to be set back in its rightful order under Yahweh Shimei Shai. That was it.
All right. This is this is Haggai chapter 1:6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages, earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes.
That's it. You read it one more time,
All right, this is Haggai chapter 1:6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes.
That's right. So the things that you earn in this society, the money that you earn in this society, is you're barely able to sustain yourself with the things that is riches, man, which is clothes, food, all right, and different resources that you may need, man. All right. Most people have an emergency fund or some type of thing like that. I remember reading an article where it said that I think it was like up to 85, almost to 90% of Americans don't even have, $1,500 in their bank account.
Yeah, like 70% of, well, how much was it? I think, was that you or Maya brought up the article? It's like 70% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
It was a high amount of number, man. One of the brothers brought it out, I remember.
Yeah, I think like the status like 2/3 of Americans live.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the majority, but somewhere around that number. But nonetheless, the majority of Americans in this country, including a lot of us brothers that's in the truth. We live in a day-to-day lifestyle. We don't have much to saved up under our name to sustain us for to sustain us in the near future. Should we lose particular things and lose our job and lose particular comforts and stuff like that? Hey, we our lives are strictly in the hands of the Lord. We depend on Yahweh Shema Shah to provide us for the things that we need in our everyday lives. And what better to have your life in the hands of other than Yahweh Shema Shah? That's right, brother. For a righteous reason, shall I say?
I go now.
Yeah. I have the definition of the word rat race, because we had mentioned it earlier, but I wanted to bring out the actual meaning of it. Let's see. All right, so this is the definition of the term rat race, and this is off of Google. It says a way of life in which people are caught a fiercely competitive struggle for wealth or power.
Man, and that's corporate America, man. That's the hiring and firing process, man. All right, that's human resources. All right, you go through a job, you say, okay, well, I'm gonna apply for this job. They call you, say, hey, come in for an interview. All right, at the interview, they say, well, what's your criteria? What makes you good for this job? What makes you the best person for this position? All right, so they compare you or weigh you to the next person. That's unrighteous, man. You're being weighed in a false balance. You're being weighed according to the principles of Esau, man. The Lord weighs us according to the oracles of the Most High, man, through the Spirit. All right, not according to whether we have spent 10 years prior working in customer service, all right, or whether we've been got a 4-year degree or got a PhD, man. The Lord says, fear the Most High and keep the commandments are the whole duty of man. But at the same time, we're wise men. So the Lord tells us, render unto Caesar what is his. You have to have some balance where you're sustaining and keeping your head above water so you can do this right here, man. All right? I got one after you. You done, brother?
All right, this is another definition of the term rat race, and this is off of Merriam-Webster.com. The definition of rat race from Merriam-Webster.com. It says the unpleasant life, right? The unpleasant life of people who have jobs that require them to work very hard in order to compete with others for money, power, status, etc.
And you don't even have to be working for money. You could be in school doing that.
Yeah.
You could be studying for exams, trying to work towards a degree or work towards a certification. That's a rat race. All right. When you're in a 4-year institution, a seminary school, and you're being graded against other people, that's a rat race. Because one person is going to be ahead of the curve and is going to set the curve for everybody. They told us that they try to indoctrinate us that in school, man. These universities and these high schools, they say, okay, well, one person is going to get a 98. Then we'll pattern this person's work onto everybody else, man. So you can see if you're behind the curve or ahead of the curve, man. That's false, man. That's a false balance, man. That's an abomination, man. You got it, huh?
Hey, it is, living the so-called American way of life. This 9-to-5 lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. It's one. It's like you run it in one big hamster wheel, right? You're running. Okay, you're putting in all of this effort, all of this, exerting all this energy, but you're literally not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much the work that you're putting in. Pretty much the work that you're putting into the job, you're not getting that in the pay, man.
Nope.
All right. And they want you to overexceed, too, when you're doing the job, man.
Yeah.
I want you to be an overachiever. I want you to do this, that, and the third. But you busting your behind, all right, and breaking your back and stuff like that. But you're getting paid the same penny, all right?
Right.
Everybody else.
Ooh, that's right. Hey, the brother Masnayim serving the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. Shalom Makim Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The brother got a beautiful comment, beautiful precept on the comment board. All right. It's 1 Corinthians 1:27. It says, but the Most High had chosen, and you got it out. But the Most High has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai had chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
Right. We're those foolish things that the Lord has chosen to confound the wise. The wise and prudent of this world. Because never in a million years would this whole entire society would ever think that so-called Negroes, Latinos and Native Americans, a remnant of us, shall I say, would eventually, wake up to the truth, come to the understanding of our nationality, and ultimately come back to calling on the names of our power, okay, standing on our feet and condemning the rulerships of these different heathen nations.
Right.
And literally through our preaching of the word, starting with our apostles and elders on down, of course, and the men that came before them, literally the things that were preaching, in regards to their downfall, is literally coming to pass before our eyes. Right. Look at what's getting ready to happen within the next 6 to 12 months. Looking down ahead. God, you want to speak on it?
No, go ahead, finish your point, Doc.
Yeah, God, World War III countries on the horizon. You know, you got Russia, Putin over there in Russia talking about, you know, mobilizing his troops, okay, leading up to World War III. And then, of course, you got Biden signing that executive order for
CBDC,
for basically the currency to go digital, in which, of course, we all know what that's going to lead up to, the Rakma.
Yeah.
All right. You know, we got famine on the horizon, food shortages, energy shortages, you know, hyperinflation down the pipe.
Not to mention storms and tempests as well, man. So the Most High is controlling this place, man. We're sitting back and we're asking the Most High for mercy to endure through these things, man. These aren't just okay. We're gonna sit in class today and we're gonna color. All right, we're gonna cut up some construction paper. These things we're talking about life and death right now, man. All right, it's 1 Corinthians 1:28 to keep going. It says, "And base things of the world and things which are despised hath the Most High chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things which are, man."
Right. You know, these are the base things that the Lord has chosen to confound the mighty and wise. Because literally, like to the people of this world, like everything that we're saying as far as prophecy is concerned, like if you would have told all of these people in the world that the things that we see happening right now, okay, if we would have told these people, you know, if we would have told these people all these things 10, 15, 20 years ago, like they would look at us like a bunch of fools. Like
They did. I'll give it like apostles like
right,
that.
apostles. You know, they would have never believed that there would come a day, all right, in their lifetime that you would see countries like Russia, Iran, North Korea, Syria, and so
Turkey.
on. Right, Turkey, Taiwan. You know, standing up, you know, boldly against America. You know, these people in America would never, you know, think to themselves that there would come a day in their lifetime where all of the comforts that they used to having would eventually would be no more. Okay, that they wouldn't be able to afford, you know, food, wouldn't be able to afford, you know, drinks, wouldn't be able to afford, you know, going on vacations and all these different things. Like all of those things would seem foolish to them, you know, going back, you know, to 10, 15, 20 years ago. But now these things are no longer foolish because all these things are a reality. Okay, and they were all spoken into existence, or starting with our apostles and elders on down to the least of us.
I got you one right here. It's Isaiah 47:7. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay these things to thy heart, neither did remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Wait that letter part down one more time.
All right, it's Isaiah 47:7. And thou said, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou did not lay these things to thy heart, neither did remember the latter end of it.
Yep. So basically, man, the thoughts of these people was continuous, man. They never thought that the kingdom was going to fall, man. Like, they don't think that, in their minds, they thought that America would never fall, man. All right? Whenever you
That's the mindset of America.
If you read in Obadiah, it says that. Let me get it real quick.
America has what? Top military, all right? Top so-called top government, all right? So-called connected, top politically, all right? It's well known throughout the earth for having power, man. That's why the scriptures calls it that horde that sitteth upon many waters. The waters is going into people, kingdoms, nations, man. That horde sits itself up above all these nations, man. Daniel's the 7th chapter, man. All right? So it's saying, and it trickles down to the people of this society. The leaders, Sleepy Joe, he's merely a puppet, but speaking of the elites on the left-hand side, man, these Amalekites, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, in their mindset, they want a continuous kingdom. That's why they're trying to go with their image. They're not going to the image of the Most High. They're going with their own image, man, a digital image. They want to put their own DNA. They want to make your body their temple, man. Esau wants to reside in you now, man. That's what it's getting to. And the Most High is not having it, man. You cross the line with the Most High, Esau. It's one thing to have people in slavery and and continually be putting that sword and that stroke on them. But now you actually want to, I was about to say, you actually want to put a device inside of us, man, and control us. You're not the Most High, man. That's blasphemy, man. But it says that dwell it carelessly, you see, because that's the mindset of these Americans. They so high up on pride that they're careless. All hell is about to break loose. They want to go to the park. They want to go to the movies. They want to be in a committed relationship. They want to chase love. They want to think about Halloween. They on Esau's schedule. Because you know in these stores, they like, okay, well, what month is it? August, we're putting out Halloween stuff. In September, we're putting out Christmas stuff. Oh, well, it's November, Valentine's Day. They're just always trying to be ahead of the curve wickedly. We're trying to be ahead of the curve prophetically, spiritually. Man. We don't want to be caught up in that bullshit. It's just a rerun. It's a nightmare, man. When these holidays come back around, man, it's like a bad nightmare we're stuck in, man. Seeing these things, these people gear up in the same ways. Trick or treat, under the mistletoe, same BS, man. 360 degree of it, man. We're tired of it, man. That's why the Lord said, hey, jump out of that rat race. Come from out of that rat race, man. And come into the realization of what's really going on. And we've seen that, and now, Lord willing, like in that movie Matrix, you don't want to go back into the Matrix. Once you're unplugged, once you're out of that, because you got to the realization that everything inside of that Matrix is a false reality. Looking down to the food, the women are false. You got it, bro. That was it.
All right. I want to back the brother up with that precept. All right. All right. This is Obadiah 1:3. It says, "The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, whose thou dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that said in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground, man." All right. And that used to be the spirit of your of the Americans, man. All right. Now, when they sit at the dinner table, they're speaking about what? All the things that's going on. Inflation, war, as the brother was going into, all right? Division, all right, amongst the nations, all right? These are the topics that are being, brought forth at the table now, man, because the kingdom is crumbling, man, all right? And there's a transition of power that's happening because the prophets are speaking prophecies, man.
That's right.
All right? But I got one more scripture. All right, this is Psalms 49:11. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. All right, and that's what they do, man. All right, they name streets after each other. All right, America. All right, named after a Roman general. All right, the explorer. Okay, all right. America's best crucial. Yeah. So basically, he names, all right, his lands after his own self, man. Because what? He thinks that his generations are gonna last forever, man. All right.
Yeah, and when they came back, when that deadly wound was healed, and they came back in the power in the Renaissance period, they had that goal in mind because they wanted to fulfill that NWO in the ancient Roman Empire, man. That was their goal and agenda, to get the world on one page under Esau Edom, man. They failed due to the Most High, due to prophecy. They failed. Was raised up again around the 1400s, all right? Are still in rulership today, trying to fulfill that goal, like the brother just brought out. That their houses shall continue forever. Your house symbolizes what? Your power, your strength, your dwelling place. So Esau wants his dwelling places to continue forever. Like the scriptures say, he goes and he indoctrinates a land. He goes, divides and conquers a land, indoctrinates it, puts his policies, his taxes, his laws on it. Next thing you know, they building up McDonald's over there. Next thing you know, you got Moab in a three-piece suit. Ishmael wearing a three-piece suit, man. They drunk to the wine. So now they've been drunken, and they're gonna sober up and realize and shoot those missiles over here, Esau, because you dwelling so carelessly, man. That city without walls. But I got one after you.
It's a quick proverb. This is Proverbs chapter 22.
A beautiful precept, brother. The water.
All right, this is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 16. It says, he that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches. And that's,
Hey, bring it on one more time, man. Yeah.
Proverbs 22, verse 16. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth, because, and that's exactly what we've been seeing over the last couple of years. Ever since the beginning of this whole Crown Royale gimmick. Okay, you see, the elites of Esau, Edom, basically shutting everything down. Okay, shutting down businesses, or causing these companies and businesses to lay people off from their jobs. Forcing people to depend on unemployment and stimulus checks and stimulus payments and all these things. All that to do what? To make the rich even richer and wealthier. Okay, and as well to make the poor even poorer. So it says, he that oppresseth the poor. Okay, the poor would include the middle class, because the middle class is also known as the working poor, the working class. It says, he that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich. All right, bailing out all these different companies every time the stock market crashes, or every time there's a major recession taking place in America, or a major depression. All right, who's the main people in this country that get bailed out? Okay, from those things, these top S&P 500 companies. Okay, companies like Nike and Google, these different banks and whatnot. It says, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. So wait, the rich of this society that use their riches for wickedness and iniquity, and ultimately all our rebellion against Yahweh Shemashai, they're going to be brought to a state of want. They're going to be brought to a state of poverty, because they've basically turned the whole world, okay, into one big ball of poverty. Okay, especially the children of Israel. You got it, right?
Yeah, what I'm at. You got it, right. The Psalms 39, for Lord, make me to know mine end, and the measure of my days, what is, that I may know how frail I am. Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age is as nothing before me. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. You see, because the brother brought out earlier that the Lord, he taken to not the excellency of Jacob. So every man at his best state is ultimately vanity in the eyes of the Lord, man. You could be at your best. You could be at your top pinnacle. You could be, like Jake said, my Jordan years. You could be at your highest point of whatever you're doing in life, and that's still vanity to the Lord, man. Because the Lord says something that's looked at as foolish in the world, like breaking down the scriptures, doing lessons, going out on the highways and byways. That's the key to life right there, man. Like they say, if you want to hide something, put it in a book, man. It says, surely every man walketh in a vain show. Surely they are disquieted in vanity. He heapeth up riches and knoweth not who shall gather them. So you chasing a bag in a rat race. You going after this fiat currency day in and day out. Jake say, hey, what you doing, man? You gonna come back? You gonna come to your law, statutes, commandments? You gonna get on the lessons? What is you gonna come out to camp? Jake say, I'm in my bag. Hey, brother, you gonna take part in the high holy days? You gonna get on the conference call? Jake say he's chasing a bag, right? But you're chasing a bag, knowing not whether you die today, you die tomorrow. Who's gonna spend your money in your bank account? Who's gonna wear the clothes in your closet? Who's gonna drive the car in your garage, man? You know not what is gonna happen to those things. So you just chasing vainglory, man. Why not chase something that's actually gonna come to pass? Like these prophecies, man. Chase the oracles, chase the wisdom, chase the knowledge, chase the understanding, man. Those things are what gonna take us to the next level, man, of our existence. We're tired of living like this, man. We're tired of working like this, man. This is slavery. All right, like the scriptures tell you in Genesis 3rd chapter, in the sweat of thy face, you shall get thy bread, man. And literally, like we're saying, living paycheck to paycheck, you could be outside sweating literally, or you can literally just make your rent and be like, whoo. Not literal sweat, but you wiping your face like, man, I just barely made it, man. Like, that was a close call, man. That's the situation that we're in, man. And we need the Lord to exonerate us out of this place, man. Just get us out of here, Lord. Lord, what would be in that number? You got it now.
Right. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 5:10. It says he that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity, man. All right. So, like the brother just said, man, all those things that you gaining, man, it's for vanity, because the scriptures say we have brought nothing in this world. All right, for surely we shall take nothing out of it as well. All right. All right. So, you're laboring to gain all of this stuff, but you can't take it with you on the other side, man. All right.
I got you a book.
All right.
This is the book of Proverbs 11:4. It says, "Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death."
That's right, man. Riches profiting not in the day of the Lord, man. All right. So all those things that you're laboring for right now, not to say that you can't have a job, you can't work, you can't have things, but if you put in your heart and your soul into those things, all right, when the day of the Lord comes, all right, you're gonna be destroyed along with it. You're gonna be destroyed right along with it, because that's where your heart is, man. All right. It's to say where your heart is, your treasure is, man. All right. So if you have your mind on this world and these things and this money and this cash, your woman, your family, all right, and that's all you think about, hey, man,
You're gonna be given to that, man.
Yeah.
To just that, we've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Runs up the thing about women, different cars, different job opportunities, and the Lord will give you over to Satan, man. He'll give you that nice woman. She'll come in a way that you even envision her, man. The opportunity will come in a way that you envision it, but you steadily going into it, and now you done drifted 50 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet, 500 feet away from the lighthouse, away from the boat. And you looking back and you like, hey, help me, throw me a lifeline. Now you got sharks surrounding you now. What are you gonna do, man? Don't drift away from the house of truth, man. If anything, you need to be clinging on to these brothers, saying, hey, whatever I gotta do to be with y'all this weekend, next weekend, whatever I gotta do to come meet y'all, be on conference calls, that's what I'm gonna do. It takes an effort. When we get in our own ways, that self-doubt. That's like being a brother was going into him, an elder. That self-doubt demon is heavy, man. That worry demon is heavy, man. That self-worth demon is heavy, man. But it says, all right. Oh, never mind. My mind was before this life.
You was finished with it. You was finished with it. My God. Hey, and that's a matter of fact, speaking of self-doubt and having all these worries and whatnot, especially in this economic situation that we're in, is the book of Revelation, chapter 6. And Revelation chapter 6 and verse 5, it says, "And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand." And of course, black representing what? Being in a position of turmoil. Okay, being in a position of sorrow. Okay, being solemn. Being in serious times. Just like for example, when people go to a funeral, right? What is the main color that people wear at a funeral? They wear black because because of what? Because a funeral represents a solemn, serious, sorrowful event. Okay, and that black horse, as we're going to continue reading in the chapter, basically represents a time of inflation, okay, and sorrow, and things like that. It says, verse 6, "And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny." Okay, basically going into inflation. Meaning what? It's going to take a day's worth of work very soon to be able to afford, things like bread and eggs and milk, okay, meat and things like that.
Yep.
Okay.
And ultimately, like when you go into the word yoke, it goes into captivity, slavery. So these things are just continuously putting hell on us, man. That black horse is slavery, man. A yoke. All right, death. It's seeping in on us. That's what this hell is, man. When you on a job, you working 6 to 6. You working 4 to 6, 12-hour shifts, 14-hour shifts, man. 24-hour shifts. All right, that's on call. Yeah, on call, bro. Man. More slavery, bro. My bad.
Yeah, because like this inflation right now, this economic situation, it basically has driven the middle class in debt. And that's part of what those balances goes into, as a brother was going into, speaking about that yoke. Because when you go into this word balances right here in Revelation 6 and 5, it basically goes into a yoke or bondage, pertaining to slavery. And that's what a lot of Americans are in right now financially. Having to take out loans and use credit cards,
yes,
and able, in order
refinance, remortgage, things like that.
Yeah, refinance and remortgage, their houses, their cars, or whatever. Okay, in order to have money to pay their bills, and even just to have money to buy food, for their children and stuff like that. Okay,
if I can bring out this one definition, because I want to bring out early going into fines.
Yeah.
All right. The definition here, it says a fine is a penalty that requires the convicted person to pay to the public treasurer.
Now, who's being convicted in this case? Israel. We're playing out a sentence right now on the planet Earth. All right, like the scripture say, we were discontinued from our heritage, man, for the iniquities of our forefathers. So now we're serving out this sentence on earth in these chains of darkness. But with this sentence comes fines, payments, certain conditions that we're in, man. It's all a part of the condition of the battle. It's all a part of the nature of our captivity. We just wasn't dropped in this place, and now we just sitting here just saying, "Hey, Lord, can you come and get us?" Now we're catching hell, man. We're learning a lesson, man. We're getting put through that trial of fire, man. We're being made more precious than fine gold. So in order to purify gold, it has to be put through severe, extreme heat, man. You got it, brother.
That's a lot.
All right, back in the definition, it says a fine is a penalty that requires the convicted person to pay to the public treasurer a sum of money fixed by law after an offense has been committed. It says the fine may be increased if the payment deadlines are not respected. So if it's not respected, all right, if you don't meet those fines, or you don't pay your light bill on time, all right, what it is if you don't pay by that due date, it's gonna go up $100, $50, increase. So that's what it's talking about, man. And that's what we're subject to in this hellhole, man. All right, and if it goes another month, 2 months, 3 months, it just continues to build up until your lights turned out or you're evicted from your home.
And then you have unrighteous decrees that'll be in the clause of these contracts to where if you break a lease or certain things, you gotta pay that. You gotta pay that rent plus triple or double it. There's certain clauses they have. That's why scripture tell you, I believe, is it Isaiah 10? It tells you unrighteous decrees.
Yeah.
All right? Because that's what Esau lives on. That's how he has us in bondage, man. He furthered the affliction on us, man. So he'll say one thing, but his contracts and his clauses in the fine print, like they say, you gotta read the fine print. In the fine print, it'll have all these hidden clauses that'll further enslave us, man. Further trip us up and put us in a snare or put us in a trap to where we owe him even more now. You got it, bro. I got one after y'all.
It's back in Revelation 6, verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil in the wine. Okay, back in what the brother Wadi was going into earlier about, that self-doubt demon. Okay, that basically being that faithless demon. Okay, the Lord said that when this black horse, come to pass, okay, which we're living in the time of the black horse right now, inflation, okay, where things are going up, bread and food is going up. Okay, the Lord said, hurt not the oil in the wine. And what is the oil in the wine represent? The elect. Okay, so in the midst of all of these things going up, and people losing particular comforts, okay, being evicted from their apartments and their houses, okay, because they can't afford to pay their rent and their bills no more. Hey, the Lord said that the elect are going to be taken care of in the midst of all these things. So hey, we have a sure word of prophecy, as the scripture says. So we have no reason to ultimately doubt Yahweh Shai and what He has promised for us in these scriptures. All we have to do is just believe and let Yahweh Shai take care of the rest.
Yep. Just believe, be a good brother, man.
Yeah.
That's simple, man. All right? But that's only those characteristic traits. The world ain't possessing that right now, man. The world ain't on a righteous path. Everybody want to get bugged out. Everybody want to wax worse. You like, Jake, what are you doing? This place is about to get hit with a major false flag. You worry about the wrong things. Where are your priorities? Your spiritual priorities have to be aligned up, man, to be able to receive the spiritual gifts ahead for you. You have to be on one accord with the Lord, man. But just to back the brother up, it said a measure of wheat for a penny. Penny goes into 10. Roman dineros meaning 10. So that's likening the loaf of bread, a measure of wheat. When you get into that penny, it's a full day's worth of pay. So just imagine going to work for a full day. You can pay $15 an hour, $16, $17, $20, $25, $30, $35 an hour. Just imagine you going to the store and having to spend an entire day's worth of work on a loaf of bread. A measure of wheat, man. That's the average person hear that and just be bugged out. Like, you mean a loaf of bread? Because some people make like maybe $150 a day, $100 a day, depending on how many hours. You might go in the store, you see a loaf of bread, $100, man. What is that going to do to your faith in that day? You have to be built upon a solid foundation, man. These things can't scare you. We're speaking on these things because we deal with them. We live paycheck to paycheck. We're getting subject to fines and payments. Esau is coming on our back with expiration dates and fine and deadlines to meet, man. So we speak these things out of experience, man. We get that experience from the presbytery, man, the elders, the apostles, man. And that's what we cling to, man. We're not clinging to anything else. I got one now. Y'all brothers can recognize. Oldie but goodie is Proverbs 30:8. It says, remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and denied thee. See, convenient. All right, that's why scriptures tell you you get it out. Well, you have the Proverbs 21 and 20. Just hold that money. You get the one that it says, godliness for contentment is great gain. But it says Proverbs 30:9, lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of my power in vain. So you ultimately want to have a balance. You don't want to be too rich, and you'll be like, man, you know what? I ain't got time for the brothers. I got too much money. I got too much stuff I can get into. I want to get on. I want to go on too many excursions, too many adventures. I just don't have time for the ministry. You're doing too little to where you be out here thinking about scheming, stealing, robbing, and devising plans on how you gonna get your next meal, man. You want a balance, man, and that's what we want to keep. A balance, a righteous balance. Have a roof over our head, convenience here, Wi-Fi, air, the daily bread. We don't have to have luxurious meals, man. We don't have to go to 5-star hotels every weekend, man. We're not living in the time of that. We're living in the time of war right now, man. It's not time to just be nice days, la 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 la. Like y'all remember Pepe Le Pew? You see a site that you like, and you just get big hard eyes, man. You start floating away with whatever it is, just floating away into the atmosphere, man. You can't do that. You have to be solid. You have to stand firm. You got it, man. Yeah, just bring it up for money, bringing up that Revelation 6.
All right, this is Proverbs 21 and 20. It says, there is treasure to be desired, and all is the dwelling of the wise.
Oil.
And oil is the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up.
Right, oil is the dwelling of the wise. Who are the wise? The remnant, the elect of the nation of Israel. So hey, and Lord willing, we get that number. Where that oil and wine is spoken of in Revelation 6, that the Lord promised not to hurt okay, in these times of trouble that we're living in right now. Okay, because hey, there's got to be a reason why the Lord bestowed this knowledge upon us in the first place. We got to be of the elect, but of course, Lord willing, yet God, Lord willing, we don't know if we're of that number. That's why the scripture says we work out our salvation with fear and trembling. But hey, that's got to be a reason why we have this knowledge, why we have this oil. Okay, this function, as it says in 1 John 2, is right. Hey, so hey, we wholeheartedly believe that once the time of Jacob's trouble comes, the Lord is not going to leave us out to dry. Okay, the Lord's going to come through His word and make sure that we're provided for. Right, okay.
You got to back you up. It is the reason we're getting this wisdom. We're ultimately getting it to be sealed. It's Revelation 71. You got it out. And after these things, I saw. And after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
That's right, man. So the winds is destruction, man. And it's speaking about the winds of destruction, really what we're talking about?
Right. Right, being held back for the elect sake. But it says that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
That's right. Talking about the people, man. Don't let all of this happen right before the elect be sealed, man.
That's right.
Have that stamp. All right.
That's right. Verse 2, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our power in their foreheads.
That's right, man. And they sealing the servants, the prophets in their foreheads by having the name, the right doctrine, all of these things, man. All right. These things are still the elect. All right. They're out there preaching the word, the gospel. All right. They're being charitable. All right. All these things are helping the elect being sealed, man. All right.
Hey, just to show you that those men is talking about trees, Mark 8:23. It says, and he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and saw and said, I see men as trees walking. So ultimately, we have to be sealed, man. And Lord willing, the elect is sealed, man. We're just waiting on the word of the Father to unleash hell on this place, man. All right, release those vials out, man. All right, the judgment. All right, and we see these things coming pertaining to Revelation 6 that the brother just brought out, man. We see these things come to pass. That red horse, that black horse, that pale horse. But ultimately, you have the white horse there as well, man. Yahweh is there. He's going to deliver us from those things. So, like, you got it.
And I'll back you up with this. This is Ezekiel 9:4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go to the midst of the city, to the midst of Jerusalem, and set a seal upon the foreheads of the land that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right, so set a seal amongst the men, man. All right, that sigh and cry in the midst of that sigh and cry, and speaking of all these things that's going on, of what living paycheck to paycheck, the vanity of this world, all right, the pestilence and different things that's coming, basically prophecy, all right, but seal them up, all right, for that great day, man, all right, that what, no harm comes to them, but, some black men are, going to be more, there's going to be, the ones that testify for the truth until death, all right.
And at this point, that's a worthy occupation of being martyred. To go out in the name of the Lord, we'll much rather that than having to be a slave in this society, knowing our worth and still being a slave, still being given a slave pay, being treated and talked to as a slave and being perceived as a slave, man. We could go out in the name of the Lord any day, man. Lord willing, we're that number, man. But y'all got to
I got one. All right, because speaking of the horses that we was bringing out in Revelation 6, that red horse, the black horse, then the pale horse, right? This is Psalms chapter 33. I'm gonna start in verse 17. It says, and horse is a vain thing for safety. And here it is, 2/3 of our people, they trust in that, damn that, every single horse that's mentioned in Revelation 6 Okay, the red horse, which is Esau Edom in his beast system. Okay, the black horse, which is making all of these the prices of everything go up, and then ultimately
enslaving you even more.
Yeah,
They trust in oppression. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They trust in oppression. Jake loves to be a slave, man. Jake loves to say he worked 12 hours and is a hard worker. Jake will tell you, hey, let me see your hands. Oh, you see all these cuts, bruises, scrapes on my hands? Oh, I can tell you don't work. I can tell you don't work. Jake loves saying that, man. Real talk, bro. You got that.
Jake trusts it, and then ultimately Jake is going to trust in that pale horse, which is which is meant to bring what? Death. Death, famine, destruction from beasts. As it goes into in Revelation 6. Jake basically trusts in every horse in Revelation 6 chapter except for that white horse. Yamashai.
That's right, bro.
So that's why it says Psalms 33:17 again, and horse is a vain thing for safety. Neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. So that red horse, Esau Edom, is not going to deliver 2/3 of you Jakes out there. It's like, you got it.
So basically, Jake believed in the wrong power, man. The horse can represent power as well, and that's what Jake, put his trust in, man. All right, Esau. He believed that Esau they looked at Esau as their God, man. All right, as their father. All right. So yeah, man.
I just gotta look at it. It's verse 18. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, which is who? The elect, the remnant. It says, upon them that hope in his mercy. And of course, the elect are the ones seeking for the mercies of the Lord, the mercies of David. It says, verse 19, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. So, hey, we're going to be, because of our fear.
We're going to survive those horses. Those horses, we're going to be saved by that white horse, man.
Yep.
You got it, brother.
Yeah, we're going to be saved by the white horse from the pale horse. Yes, as well as the black horse and as well as the red horse. So the Lord's going to make sure, Lord willing, we be at that number to, have things provided for us in those times for us to endure unto the end. Okay? It says, verse 20, this is the last verse, verse 20, our soul waited for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. So, hey, so the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah, is going to be, our help in that day. And as well as he's also going to be our shield. Because we know that Esau, God, because we know that, before all these things are said and done, Esau Edom is going to come with that great wrath, like a flood, because of us not bowing the knee to his beast system. So wait, the Lord is going to lift up that standard for us. Okay, and keep us alive. And Lord willing, we endure to the end. All right, to get our victory and be delivered and to see this place, America, Babylon the Great, okay, be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. Okay? Very good. Sit on that. You got one more? You take this up.
All right, let me see here. All right, this is Psalm 91, and I'm gonna start at 4, and it says, "He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust." It says, "His truth shall be thy shield and buckler." It says, "Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor the arrow that fly by day." Speaking about, the body that guns, the swords, the bullets, the warfare that people are going to be, killing each other, man. All right, the Lord's going to make sure that we're able to sustain and make it through those things. Right?
And death as well, man. A nuclear hellfire. And that's a victory right there, man. To escape those millions upon millions, 100 million missiles that are going to be shot here and devour this place, man. To not be in the line of fire of those things, man. That's mercy from the Lord. That's why the angels are holding back those 4 winds, because once they release them, then that indignation is going to flow. You got it, bro.
Verse 5, it says, "Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor the arrow that fly by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday." All right, so the pestilence, the diseases, all right, the elect, All right, they're not gonna, suffer that judgment, man. All right, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. It says, only with thine eyes that thou shalt behold and see the reward of the wicked. So these are the punishments for the wicked. The wicked are going to suffer, the famines of the black horse. All right, you know,
Scourges.
the scourges, time, the plagues, the different things that's going to happen on the earth. It says, um, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. It says that there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So the Lord is going to have an angel watching over us, just as that, Yahushua, all right? Yahushua watching over us just as he did when we was crossing, that sea, man, all right? The Red Sea, that's right.
The little cloud by
That's
night.
right,
Yep.
that's right. All right? And he said, for he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. That's pretty much it, man. All right, so the angels are going to spiritually put in our spirit where to go at. All right, where to be safe at. All right, it's time to leave. You know. All right, the spirit is just going to be on you, man.
They doing it now.
You're doing it now.
We're able to get on these lives, go on, edify on these videos, and be out of the way of danger. They're doing it right now. Man.
Yep.
They have a head above us right now. Man. So Lord willing, this message is edifying. All right, we're gonna face the east. We give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, guys. Double honors to the apostle and millstone, rule well and teach well, and worthy of the double honors. Peace and blessing to you. I keep pushing out this truth across the four corners during this last 6 time. Kwame Yashala, Baba, Shalom. Lord willing, see y'all on the highways tomorrow. Shalom. The water for the beautiful precept. Shalom.
Lord willing, you Akim have a good Sabbath tonight. That's right.
That's right. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.